again all devotees for joining our Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, daily Srimad Bhagavatam reading morning session. Hare Krishna. So, thank you all once again. So, Thursday, we have covered 5.18.29. So, last verse was 29, which we read from chapter 18. So today we'll start with the third verse number 30 onwards of chapter 18. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire. नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतेरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नष्टगी मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीगुरुं दीनदारिणं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरम् ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददान्ति सपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं सागरजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगल्पति गोपेश गोपिका कांदा राधा कांदा नमोस्तुते तप्तकांजन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यः च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिने नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देव गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशधारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे हरे राम राम राम हरे हरे। विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण स्वामी नमाचरिपदाय स्वामी गुरु महाराज की जय। हरे कृष्णा। Once more, welcome all devotees for our Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Hare Krishna. So, we'll start with verse number 30. Shalapraji, I'll start verse number 30.
Yes, Prabhuji, please.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna and Lord Pranam. Verse number 30. Om Namo Bhagavate Apuparaya Sarva Sattva Guna Vishesha Visheshanaya Anupalakshita Sthanaya Namo Varshmane Namo Bhumne Namo Avasthanaya Namaste. Om Namo Bhagavate Agubaraya Sarvasattva Guna Visheshananayubalakshita Sthanaya Namo Varshmane Namo Bhumne Namo Avasthanaya Namaste. Hare Krishna. Translation purported by His Divine Grace Abhecharanarinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Translation. Sorry. O my Lord, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you, who have assumed the form of a tortoise. You are the reservoir of all transcendental qualities, and being entirely untinged by matter, you are perfectly situated in pure goodness. You move here and there in the water, but no one can discern your position. Discern your position. Therefore, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Because of your transcendental position, you are not limited by past, present, and future. You are present everywhere as the shelter of all things, and therefore I offer my respectful obeisances unto you again and again. Hare Krishna. Translation once more. Please mute. Hare Krishna. O my Lord, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you, who have assumed the form of a tortoise. You are the reservoir of all transcendental qualities, and being entirely untinged by matter, you are perfectly situated in pure goodness. You move here and there in the water, but no one can discern your position. Therefore, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Because of your transcendental position, you are not limited by past, present, and future. You are present everywhere as the shelter of all things, and that therefore I offer my respectful obeisances unto you again and again. Purport. In the Brahma Samhita, it is said, Goloka eva nivasate akhilatmana bhudaha. The Lord always remains in Goloka, the topmost planet in the spiritual world. At the same time, He is all pervading. This paradox is only possible for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is full of all opulences. The Lord's all pervasiveness is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 18.61, where Krishna states, Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Hrideshe Arjuna Tishtadi. The Supreme Lord is seated in everyone's heart, O Arjuna. Elsewhere in Bhagavad Gita 15.15, the Lord says, Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishto mattasmriti jnanam abohanam cha. I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. Therefore, although the Lord is present everywhere, He cannot be seen with ordinary eyes. As ARYAMÀ says, the Lord is Anubalakshita Sthana. No one can locate Him. This is the greatness of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Shivana Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Dandar pranams to all assembled Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis. Srimad Krishna Prabhu is here. You can see Prabhuji is here. Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Dandar pranams to Hare Krishna.
Dandar pranam to all devotees.
Prabhuji, would want to say something, Prabhu?
No, Prabhuji. You start, Prabhuji.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Dandar pranams again to all assembled Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis. I'm not also qualified, but as a part of a service, whatever my understanding I'll share. Definitely, these are very elevated transcendental subjects. We are in the shore of the ocean trying to understand the depth. So it's a very difficult one, but by praying to the lotus feet of the Lord and the Vaishnava Acharyas, we will try to understand by Srila Prabhupada's purport. Hare Krishna. So we are actually discussing the prayers which are offered by various personalities in different parts of this Jambu Dvipa. And today, we are actually seeing the prayers offered in HIRADİMAYA-VARŠA. So this prayer, the inhabitants of this HIRADİMAYA-VARŠA is ARYAMÀ. So in Bhagavad Gita also Krishna says about this Pitris. So there is a Pitriloka in the in the lower planetary system, there's a Pitriloka in that position where people who, the ancestors go and live there, Pitriloka. And who is the in charge of Pitriloka is ARYAMÄ. Okay. And so here ARYAMÄ and his associates are glorifying the Lord KØRMA, because the presiding deity of HIRADIMAYA-VARŠA is actually Lord KØRMA, Kurmadev. So we know this Dasavatara, one of the famous avatar of the Lord in Dasavatara is KØRMA avatar. Keshava Sarira, KØRMA, Keshava Rupa, KØRMA Sarira, Jaya Jagadisha, Hare. So that KØRMA, Lord KØRMA is being glorified here by the inhabitants of this HIRADIMAYA-VARŠA, headed by ARYAMÄ. So I think that prayer started in verse number 29, where it begins with in HIRADIMAYA-VARŠA, the most dear and beautiful form of Lord KØRMA is always worshipped by ARYAMÄ, the chief of Pitris, along with other inhabitants. They chant the following hymns. So we also give this Pitri Darpan. So it is for reaching these ancestors for their onward progress, so that they will not suffer much. So that ARYAMÄ is actually the chief of all this Pitriloka. Now continuing the prayers, 30th verse today, where ARYAMÄ is offering the obeisances to Lord KØRMADEV. O my Lord, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you, who have assumed the form of a tortoise. So we know the tortoise, KØRMA avatar, it is in the Samudra Mandan Leela in Bhagavatam, it is there, where there was a conflict between the Devatas and the Asuras. And the Asuras were actually, Asuras were very powerful because they defeated these Devatas. And the Devatas lost the power and they became very weak. So they, as usual, the Devatas went shelter to take shelter of Lord Vishnu and asked for protection. And Lord Vishnu given some instruction, yes, you can go and I will come and I will help you to regain your power. So that's why they're saying, let us take the Amrit from the ocean. And when you take this Amrit, you will regain the immortality. So you will regain your strength. So based on the instruction, the Devatas are, we are know, it's very famous Leela. Even if you go to the, not only this Leela is confined to India, you can see if you go to Thailand or Burma, or here also, if you see the Thailand airport also, this famous pastime is depicted as a very big statue, the Samudra Mandan Leela. So it is throughout, this Leela is very famous, and they have taken this ocean, and then they have taken this Mandara mountain as the center pivot, and they requested Vasuki, the serpent, to be that rope. And then one side of the head part, the Asuras, and actually first time they were in the tail part, and then finally the Lord requested to go to the head part, and then they were actually churning. So when they were churning that ocean to bring the Amrit out, the outside of that ocean, we know that halahal poison came first, and Lord Shiva had taken the service to take the poison because poison is not good. And eventually what happened, this mountain started sinking in the ocean. And the Lord actually taken, again they prayed to the Lord because they are not able to complete the task. So they prayed to the Lord again, and the Lord assumed the form of KØRMA, the tortoise, because the tortoise has a very strong shell in the body. So the Lord assumed the form of a tortoise and rested at the beneath of the ocean, upon which the Mandara mountain was resting. So then the Devatas and Asuras, they were able to churn the ocean. A lot of things came out of that ocean, from that the Amrita also came. Then the Lord again taken the Mohini avatar form, so in order to give this Amrit to the Devatas. And also during the churning process, Lakshmi Devi appeared, Lord Dhanvantari appeared, who was the father of Ayurveda, Airavata appeared. Like that, there is so much description. And every Devata, they taken some gifts which has come in from this ocean. So the Lord again protected the Devatas by assuming the form of a tortoise, and thereby protecting and then giving them the Amrit and regaining their power. And why does the Lord support so much the Devatas? Because they were the sincere servants of the Lord for fulfilling the responsibilities in this material universe. To manage this material universe, these Devatas, they play a sincere role according to the instructions of the Lord. So the Lord also reciprocates with them, that whenever there is a danger, they take shelter of the Lord, and the Lord comes down. And we know that even Lord Krishna, when he appeared, it was prayer of the Bhumi Devi, the mother goddess, Mother Earth. She went in the form of a cow and she pleaded to save her because the adharma increased in the planet Earth. So the Lord, every time, whenever there is a danger or when there is adharma, the Lord comes in various forms in order to protect the devotees. So in this form is actually the form of a tortoise. You are so ARYAMÄ is praying to the Lord, glorifying Him. You are the reservoir of all transcendental qualities. So what is the meaning of transcendental qualities? Means that is which is beyond our senses. We cannot understand everything by our sensual perception. When the Lord, we cannot understand the qualities just by our own endeavor or by our own imagination or something. So transcendental means that which is beyond our mind intelligence. So that is that those qualities which we cannot comprehend by our material calculation, those are called transcendental qualities. So here the Lord is praised as He is the reservoir, means He is the abode of all these transcendental qualities. So anybody is getting connected with the Lord, they also obtain this transcendental qualities by the mercy of the Lord. And being entirely untinged by matter. So one important point is, from this prayer we can understand, and the philosophical truth is also, the Lord is not actually associated with the three modes of material nature. In Bhagavad Gita also, Krishna says, Trivir Gunamayir Bhavir, Krishna says that this whole material universe is actually deluded by the three modes of material nature, and the Lord is totally away from that. Even if you say Lord Shiva is a very exalted position, but still he is associated with the matter because his wife is Durga Devi, who is in charge for this entire material universe. She is the fortress, she is the superintendent. Prabhupada says she is the superintendent of this material fort called material universe. So Lord Shiva is also associated with his wife. So he is also tinged with matter. He is connected with matter. But whereas the Lord is never touched by this matter, he is totally aloof from these three modes of material nature. Sattva Guna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna. That's why he is situated in the platform called Shuddha Sattva or pure goodness. So here, that's why immediately it is said that you are perfectly situated in pure goodness, means he is above the three modes of material nature, and you move here and there in the water. Because as a tortoise, we know that tortoise it lives mostly in the water and it moves in the ocean like that. So you move here and there in the water. Even though you are moving in the water, but no one can discern your position. We cannot exactly know where is the position or the location of the Lord. So no one can discern your position. And therefore, I offer my respectful obeisances. So in the beginning also, it offered with respectful obeisances. Again, glorifying the Lord. Again, the King ARYAMÄ, he is again offering the respectful obeisances unto the Lord because of your transcendental position. And you are not limited by past, present, and future. Because the Lord is above the time factor. The time is one of the energies of the Lord, and the Lord is not actually influenced by time. Whereas this whole Brahmanda, it is influenced by time, by the movement of the sun. We are actually having the past, present, and future. But once you go out of this Brahmanda, once you enter the board of Vaikuntha Loka and Golak Vrindavan, there is no influence of time. That's why the Lord, it is said that you are not limited by past, present, and future. You are present everywhere as a shelter of all things. So Lord is actually Bhakta Vatsala. He is a shelter for all things, and therefore I offer my respectful obeisances unto you again and again. So here you can see the obeisances are offered 3 times. So this is an expression of humility that the Lord says, Manmanabhava Madbhakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru. So the more we bow down to the Lord, more we rise in the spiritual life. So that we can see that mood is expressed here in this prayer, that how they are offering the prayers again and again, offering their obeisances again and again. In this one verse, we can see in this prayer, 3 times they are offering their obeisances. So that we should also learn that as much as possible, we have to offer our obeisances to the Lord, whereby we become purified, we get the blessings of the Lord. So we'll go to Srila Prabhupada's purport. So Srila Prabhupada is referring to Brahma Samhita. So Brahma Samhita is the specific verse Prabhupada is referring. Goloka eva nivasati akilatma bhutha govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. So the Lord always remains in Golaka. Golaka is actually referring to the spiritual world, where Lord Brahma, when he did the tapas, he was able to see the Lord's spiritual abode. Then he sang this entire Brahma Samhita, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchitanand Vigranadiradir Govindam, Sarva Karana Karanam. And he is also seeing the spiritual abode, Chintamani Prakarasu Satmasu Kalpa Vriksha, Laksha Vrtesha Surabhi Rapi Palayantam. So the spiritual world, everything is made of touchstones, and there are Surabhi cows, there are desire fulfilling trees. So in that Brahma Samhita, Lord Brahma is singing Goloka Iva Nivasati Akilatma Bhuta, meaning the Lord always remains in Golaka. Okay, the topmost planet in the spiritual world. The spiritual world is compared like a lotus flower, and the center of the lotus flower is actually Golaka Vrindavan. Surrounding it is all there. Mathura, Dwaraka is there. Then surrounding is actually the Vaikuntha planets. Ayodhya is also there. So whatever we see in this material world, it is actually a copy paste of spiritual world. Whatever we see here, Ayodhya, Vrindavan Dham, and Navadvip Dham, these are all already existing in the spiritual world, but in a miniature form. Same thing is a copy paste. Whenever the Lord descends, his abode also descends with him. So here the Lord always remains in the Golaka Dham, which is in the center of the lotus flower. The topmost planet in the spiritual world is actually Golaka Dham. At the same time, he is all pervading. So normally, materially, we cannot understand, because a person is situated in one place, he cannot be in another place. But that is not actually same logic for the Supreme Lord. The Lord can be in the supreme spiritual abode. At the same time, he can pervade everywhere. So Prabhupada gives a very famous example, like the sun and sun's energy. The sun is situated in one place, but the same sun is also present everywhere in the form of his energies. Same Krishna also, Maya Tadam Sarvamidam Jagat Avyakta Murtina Mastani Sarva Bhutani Nachamattayam Chaham. Like there is a verse in Bhagavad Gita, 9th chapter, where Krishna is saying, I am present everywhere. At the same time, I am in them. I am also not in them. It's called Achintya. Achintya means inconceivable by our. How it is possible? Paradox means he is also there, at the same time he is pervading everything. This paradox is only possible for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is full of affluences. So Prabhupada is giving that the Lord not only is in the spiritual abode, but he is all pervading. Imagine if you are thinking how the Lord is pervading everywhere, we cannot understand easily, because even the Paramatma is present within the heart. It is said that it is only one Paramatma who is residing in everyone's heart. The example is given like a drop of water. Like that, there are billions of drops of water, and every drop of water, the sun is reflected. Like that, Paramatma is reflected. So there is only one Paramatma. There is not many Paramatma. But whereas there are innumerable living entities, within the innumerable living entities, within each living entity, there is a Paramatma. But the Paramatma is undivided. So this is Achintya, that we cannot understand by our material intelligence. The Lord's all-pervasiveness is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Also, Prabhupada refers again two verses he is referring. The famous verse where Krishna says, Ishvara sarva bhutanam hrideshi arjuna tishtati brahmayam sarva bhutanam yantra rudani mahaya. So Krishna says that Ishvara, the Lord, sarva bhutanam, in all living entities, hrideshi, in the heart, Arjuna, Arjuna tishtati, is situated. So the Lord is situated in everyone's heart. The same is again referred in the Supreme Lord is seated in everyone's heart, O Arjuna. This is the translation. Again, elsewhere in Bhagavad Gita 15.15, another famous verse, the Lord says, Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishto matta smritir jnanam pohanam cha vedischa sarver ahameva vedyo vedantakrit vedavit eva chaham. So Sarvasya chaham, in every living entity, hridi sannivishto, I am situated in the heart. So I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me comes Matta Smritir Jnanam Apohanam cha. From me comes three things: remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. So many times we are experiencing very important things. Sometimes we forget, sometimes we remember at the right time, and sometimes we get some good knowledge also. Knowledge, whatever, sometimes you have a disease, sometimes we get a treatment, like we suddenly think, okay, if I do like this, maybe I'll be cured. Any kind of knowledge, whatever we see, spiritual knowledge, material knowledge, all this comes by the mercy of the Lord. So three things come from the Lord from within the heart. One is remember, forgetful, and knowledge. And Srila Prabhupada says that even to forget Krishna, we need Krishna's permission. Whoever, even the atheist or the materialist, they are not able to remember Krishna because Because Krishna allowed them to forget. Without Krishna's will, we cannot forget Krishna also. Because when we desire that we don't want God in our life, then Krishna will sanction that desire, then we will not have his remembrance. At the same time, when we want to remember, we sincerely pray. Like Prabhupada said, one prayer that we should always pray that, oh my dear Lord, you are situated in my heart. Please help me to remember you all the times. Whether I am in heaven or hell, that doesn't matter. But please always, by your causeless mercy, help me to remember you all the times. Like the Prabhupada has given a prayer. So that remembrance also, if you want to remember, Smartavya Satatam Vishnu, Vishmartavya Jatachit. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. That also will be possible only when Krishna will bless us. When we are doing our sadhana sincerely, then Krishna will bless us to always remember him. So that remembrance comes from Krishna. Whether we say whatever knowledge, material knowledge or spiritual knowledge, that also comes from Krishna, from the Paramatma within. And if you want to forget, that also comes from Krishna. Therefore, although the Lord is present everywhere, he cannot be seen with ordinary eyes. So also same Brahma Samhita, it is said that Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena Santa Sadaivi Lokayanti. So the Lord is present everywhere, then we cannot still see with the ordinary eyes. Again, Srila Prabhupada gives an example. If there is a mechanic, car mechanic, when we are driving our car, suddenly the car stops and it is not starting. So we open the bonnet and see, but we are not able to identify anything. But when we go to a mechanic, immediately we are taking the vehicle to a mechanic. He also sees the same. He opens the bonnet and he will see the engine and everything. And immediately tells, this is the problem here, and he will rectify and he will tell, now you start the vehicle will start. We also saw the same vehicle. He also saw the same vehicle. But what he was able to see, we are not able to see. So Prabhupada says that even for seeing materially, you need some qualification. Whether it is this one. Even say, suppose example, doctor. We know there is something problem. He is seeing the ECG report. We are seeing the ECG report. We do not know anything. When he sees ECG report, he is able to diagnose what is the problem. So even for normal material things, you need qualification. Then how about seeing God? How come we can see God without qualification? So ordinary eyes means without any qualification. Even though the Lord is present, we cannot see anywhere. But with proper sadhana and proper, when you have this eyes anointed with love of God, then it is possible to see the Lord, because that is a qualification to see the Lord. Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena. That those people who have anointed their love, they can see God 24 hours. So, as ARYAMÄ says, the Lord is Anupalakshita Sthana. No one can locate him. That is said already, that we cannot locate here is Lord and here there is no Lord. No, you cannot locate like that. This is the greatness of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is the glorification. That one important point is the Lord is situated in the Golak Vrindavan. At the same time, he is always all-pervading. Even though he is all-pervading, we cannot see him with ordinary eyes, because until and unless we develop that qualification, we cannot see him. And even though he is all-pervading, we cannot locate him where he is exactly present. And this is the greatness of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So like this, the prayer is being glorified to Lord KØRMA by the inhabitants of HIRADIMMAYA-VARŠA. And continuing, there are 31, 32 and 33 or 3 verses more glorifying Lord KØRMA in this. Then this next prayer will be to Varahadev. So if there are any questions, any comments, and what we discussed now, or you have understanding, you want to share something on this verse, devotees, please feel free to share. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, 29 to 32.
33, Prabhu. 33. Yeah.
Thanks.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandat Pranams.
So here the word here says Anupalakshita Sthana. So we cannot locate the Supreme Lord. Just like here, the tortoise, there is in Bhagavad Gita also, 2.58 says that. So one who is able to withdraw his senses from the
Kurmo Angani, like that.
Yeah. So only we can control the senses whenever we require. So if it is our senses, it is in the Shuddha Sattva. So there is a required for this. So our normal eyes are material. So when it is attached to or connected with the Supreme Lord, that is, it will be transcendental. So all the services should be, our senses should be always in the mode of Shuddha Sattva.
Shuddha Sattva.
Yeah.
We have to aspire for that.
Yeah.
Go to that platform.
Yes, Prabhu. Until we are not in that mode, we cannot locate. I mean, we cannot
see
get
the process
the,
of that.
Yeah. Yes, Prabhu. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. Hare Krishna. So, Shikmar Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji.
If there are no
go for the next verse, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
So, Mataji, anybody want to read? Please, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, Mataji, you can. 31.
यद्रूपमेतन्निजमाययार्पितमर्थस्वरूपं बहुरूपरूपितं सङ्ख्यानयस्यास्ते यथोपलं तस्मै नमस्तेऽव्यपदेशरूपिणे यद्रूपमेतन्निजमाययार्पितमर्थस्वरूपं बहुरूपरूपितं सङ्ख्यान यस्यास्ते यथोपलं तस्मै नमस्ते व्यपदेशरूपिणे. Translation. My dear Lord, this visible cosmic manifestation is a demonstration of your own creative energy. Since the countless varieties of forms within this cosmic manifestation are simply a display of your external energy, this Virata Rupa, universal beauty, is not your real form. Except for a devotee in transcendental consciousness, no one can perceive your actual form. Therefore, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Translation once more. My dear Lord, this visible cosmic manifestation is a demonstration of your own creative energy. Since the countless varieties of forms within this cosmic manifestation are simply a display of your external energy, this Virata Rupa, universal body, is not your real form. Except for a devotee in transcendental consciousness, no one can perceive your actual form. Therefore, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Purport. Mayavadi philosophers think the universal form of the Lord to be real and his personal form illusory. We can understand their mistake by a simple example. A fire consists of three elements, heat and light, which are the energy of the fire and the fire itself. Anyone can understand that the original fire is the reality and that the heat and light are simply the fire's energy. Heat and light are the formless energies of fire, and in that sense they are unreal. Only the fire has form, and therefore it is a real form of heat and light. As Krishna states in Bhagavad Gita 9.4, Maya tadam idam sarvam jagat avyakta murtina. By me, in my unmanifested form, this entire universe is pervaded. Thus, the impersonal conception of the Lord is like the expansion of heat and light from a fire. In Bhagavad Gita, the Lord also says, Mat Shanti Sarvabhutani, Mastani Sarvabhutani, Nachaham Teshva Avastita. The entire material creation is resting on Krishna's energy, either material, spiritual, or marginal. But because his form is absent from the expansion of his energy, he conceivable expansion of the Supreme Lord's energy is called Achintya Shakti. Therefore, no one can understand the real form of the Lord without becoming his devotee. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So here actually continuing the prayer, here it is again about the impersonal form of the Lord and the personal form of the Lord. Or we can say the universal form of the Lord versus actual form. So here in the verse we can say the prayer by ARYAMÀ and other associates. My dear Lord, this visible cosmic manifestation, what we are seeing in this world, this Brahmanda, it's a demonstration of your creative energy because the Lord has innumerable energies. Parasya Sakti Vividya Shruyate. Lord has innumerable energies. Because of his creative energy is this manifestation, cosmic manifestation. Since countless varieties of forms within cosmic manifestation are simply a display of your external energy. Like we are having some energy, we are building some skyscraper. If there is no energy for us, we cannot do anything. Similarly, by the Lord's energy, all this is being manifested by his creative energy. Why we say creative? Because every time you see a flower, you see so much artistic is there. Every time you see a living entity, their shape, their color, their form, all this, when we see, we can understand that how Lord is so much creative. Every time we see this creation, it's innumerable living entities. We're always admiring how it is, so magnanimous, this creation. Because the Lord had creative energy. By his creative energy, he is manifesting countless varieties of forms within this cosmic manifestation. And it is a simply display of his external energy, not internal energy. Because internal energy means it is totally with the spiritual world. This is Bahiranga Shakti, external energy. This Virat Rupa, which is called as the cosmic or universal body, Vishwarupa, Virat Rupa, all this same universal body is not your real form. Because Prabhupada always repeatedly says this is a temporary form. The Vishwarupa form is a temporary form and it is not the actual form. Because the actual form is the Shamashundara form. Except for a devotee in transcendental consciousness, no one can perceive the actual form. So Arjuna also perceived the Lord Krishna's form. And the end of 11th chapter, we can see he prayed to the Lord and he was very happy to see the Shamashundara form. Whereas he was not very happy to see the Vishwarupa form, even though he requested to see that. Therefore, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. So they offer prayers, again, respectful obeisances, finishing with that. Prabhupada is going to the purport, very clearly explaining about the Mayavadi concept. The Mayavadi means they think that God does not have a form. So, Prabhupada states here that Mayavadi philosophers, they are thinking that Lord to be, the universal form to be real. So, they are thinking this universal form is real and his personal form is illusory. Whereas the devotees will think in the other way. The devotees understand that the personal form is the actual original form, the Shamashundara form. So they say in Bible also, man is made in the image of God. What is our image? Like we are having 2 hands, 2 legs. We are actually copy-paste of God. So our devotees' realization, the highest realization is the personal form of the God is actual. From the personal form, the impersonal form is manifesting. How? That is given by example here by Prabhupada. A fire consists of 3 elements, heat and light. Whenever there is a fire, you can see then that near the fire you will get heat and also light is there. Like you light a candle, then there is heat and there is light, which are the energy of the fire and the fire itself. So anyone can understand that the original fire is the reality. Because there is a fire, that's why heat and light is manifested. And that the heat and light are simply the fire's energy. So energetic is the fire, energy is the heat and light. Heat and light are the formless energies of the fire. And in that sense, they are unreal. Because as soon as you put up the fire, then there is no heat and light. So they are temporary manifestation. As long as the fire is there, the root cause is fire. So only the fire has form. Therefore, it is a real form of the heat and light. So Prabhupada quotes again 2 slokas from Bhagavad Gita here, 9.4, which we recited the previous purport also. Maya tadam idam sarvam jagat abhyakta murtina. That means Maya tadam idam sarvam means I am pervaded everywhere in the jagat, in the universe. Abhyakta murtina means in my impersonal future. By me, in my unmanifested form, this entire universe is pervaded. Thus, the impersonal conception of the Lord is like expansion of heat and light from fire. So that's the greatness of Prabhupada. Such a complex philosophy is explaining very in a simple terms. Even a layman can understand by giving this practical example of heat and light. So the impersonal conception of the Lord is like the expansion of heat and light. The fire is at one place. See, same way sun is at one place, but the sun's energy in the form of heat and light is spread throughout the universe. So same way. In the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord also says, Mastani sarva bhutani nachaham tesum avastitaha. The entire material creation is resting on Krishna's energy. So the whole planets are floating because of Krishna's energy. Maya dakshena prakriti suyacheta saracharam. So in Krishna's superintendence, everything is happening by Krishna's energy. Either material or spiritual or marginal. Because when we say this Parashya Sakti Vividya Shriyate, Krishna has innumerable energies. But these energies are coming under three categories. One is material energy called Bahiranga Shakti, another is spiritual energy called as Antaranga Shakti, and third is marginal Shakti, Tatasa Shakti. So this material world is coming from material energy, spiritual world is manifested from spiritual energy, and all the Jivatmas are emanating from this marginal energy. So the marginal energy can take shelter of either material energy or spiritual energy. But because his form is absent from the expansion of his energy, so in the expansion of his energy, there is his form will not, personal form will not be there. Vishwarupa only there. He is not personally present. So therefore, he is not personally present. This inconceivable expansion is called Achintya. Of the Supreme Lord's energy is called Achintya Shakti, means that which we cannot comprehend by our strength of our intelligence and mind. That how this is possible, that is called Achintya. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's philosophy is Achintya Veda Veda Tattva, means simultaneously one and different. Therefore, no one can understand the real form of the Lord without becoming his devotee. So Krishna says that very clearly also in 18th chapter that Bhaktyamama Vijanati Yavan Yaschasmi Tattvataha. One can understand me as I am only by process of devotional service. Otherwise, it is not possible. We may have partial realization of the Supreme Lord as a Brahman or Paramatma by other process, but as a Bhagavan, as a full form, the complete, perfect, ultimate form can be realized only by becoming his devotee. Otherwise, not possible. So that is the understanding here. Would you like to share anything on this, please? Hare Krishna. So we will try to finish today this another two prayers also, because so that tomorrow we can start prayers to Lord Varahadev by Bhumi in Uttara Varsha. So we will try to finish 32 and 33 also today.
Do you have any difference in Vishwarupa and Virat Rupa?
Sorry, Prabhu?
Difference, have any difference? This is
Yes.
Virat Rupa.
Vishwarupa Prabhu is very huge, right? Even Prabhupada said, if you want to dress the deity, Vishwarupa, how you will dress the deity? Because, it's huge.
Yeah.
So many heads, so many, Krishna showed a sample of Vishwarupa to Arjuna. Vishwarupa means it's having the huge form of expansion of the Lord. This whole cosmic manifestation is also compared in the Bhagavatam as Vishwarupa of the Lord. Like the upper planetary systems are compared to his head, the middle planetary system to his belly area, and the lower planetary system, So the Vishwarupa form is actually compared, like this whole Brahmanda is compared to his Vishwarupa form. Huge form. But it is impersonal, and it is temporary, and it is not the actual form of the Lord. And why the Mayavadis are not able to realize this actual form of the Lord? Because they are not having bhakti to the Supreme Lord. So that's a Prabhupada ends here. Therefore, no one can understand the real form of the Lord without becoming his devotee. So the Mayavadis consider the Vishwarupa to be the actual form of the Lord, and the personal form to be Maya. Like when Krishna is coming down in two forms, they say that this is actually Maya form. This Lord is having this 2 and 2 leg is actually Maya form.
Okay.
Like that.
The Virat Rupa?
Clear, Prabhu?
Virat Rupa, Prabhu?
Virat Rupa is actually the expansion, like sun's energy. It is actually emanation as the energy of the Supreme Lord. Virat Rupa. Okay, yeah. It's like that expansion, like heat and light. It's all pervading. It's all pervading.
Okay.
Correct.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Yes. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Krishna.
Go to 32, Prabhu.
Yeah, we'll move to next verse, 32. Anybody want to read? Okay, I will read verse number 32. Audible, Prabhuji? Me?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, please.
Okay. Jara yujam sweda jamanda jodhidam characharam devarshi vidurbhuda maindriyam bhuda maindriyam Dyauha kham shidiha shaila saril samudra divagraharshetya bhideya ekaha Jarayujam sweda jamandha Damanda Jodhidam Characharam Devarshi Devarshi Vidrubhuda Maindriyam Deauham Shidiha Shaila Saril Samudra Dvipa Graharshethyabhideya Ekaha. Krishna translation purported by His Divine Grace Abhecharana in the Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. My dear Lord, you manifest your different energies in countless forms as living entities born from wombs, from eggs, and from perspiration, as planets and trees that grow out of the earth, as all living entities, both moving and standing, including the demigods, the learned sages, and the pitas as outer space, as the higher planetary system containing the heavenly planets, and as the planet Earth with its hills, rivers, seas, oceans, and islands. Indeed, all stars and planets are simply manifestations of your different energies. But originally, you are one without a second. Therefore, there is nothing beyond you. This entire cosmic manifestation is therefore not false, but is simply a temporary manifestation of your inconceivable energy. Translation once more. My dear Lord, you manifest your different energies in countless forms as living entities born from wombs, from eggs, and from perspiration, as plants and trees that grow out of the earth, as all living entities, both moving and standing, including the demigods, the learned sages, and the pitas, as outer space, as the higher planetary system containing the heavenly planets, and as the planet Earth with its hills, rivers, seas, oceans, and islands. Indeed, all the stars and planets are simply manifestations of your different energies, but originally you are one without a second. Therefore, there is nothing beyond you. This entire cosmic manifestation is therefore not false, but is simply a temporary manifestation of your inconceivable energy. Purport. This verse completely rejects the theory of Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya, which states that spirit of Brahman is real, whereas the manifested material world, this with its great variety of things, is false. Nothing is false. One thing may be permanent and another temporary, but both the permanent and the temporary are facts. For example, if someone becomes angry for a certain period, no one can say that his anger is false. It is simply temporary. Everything we experience in our daily lives is of this same character. It is temporary but real. Sorry. The different kinds of living entities coming from various sources are very clearly described in this verse. Some are born from the womb, and some, like certain insects, from human inspiration. Others hatch from eggs, and still others sprout from the earth. A living entity takes birth under different circumstances according to his past activities, karma. Although the body of the living entity is material, it is never false. No one will accept the argument that since a person's material body is false, murder has no repercussions. Our temporary bodies are given to us according to our karma, and we must remain in our given bodies to enjoy the pains and pleasures of life. Our bodies cannot be called false. They are only temporal. In other words, the energy of the Supreme Lord is as permanent as the Lord himself, although his energy is sometimes manifested and sometimes not. As summarized in the Vedas, Sarvam Khal Idam Brahma. Everything is Brahma. Everything is Brahman. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. So it's again the philosophy is explained in this prayer. How the lot of countless living entities are it's manifested in this world. So the countless forms actually are moving and non-moving. They are born from these four categories. Jarayuja means from actually womb. It's like the human beings are coming. And from eggs, Andaja. And from perspiration, Svedaja. And from seeds, Udbija. So from these four only, we are actually all these countless living entities are manifested either from eggs or from perspiration, from the womb or from the seeds. Seeds means basically from the earth. So it is being explained here. It's very important to remember this, like how these four, they are manifested. And also not only this living entity, and also it is the learned sages, the Pitas, outer space, higher planetary system, which is we are saying the higher planetary system, heavenly planets, and the planet with Earth, which is this planet with hills, rivers, seas, oceans, islands. So are all manifested by different energies of the Lord. Indeed, all the stars and planets are simply manifestations of your different energies. So we should always learn the energetic and energy. Energetic is Krishna, and he has innumerable energies. Out of these energies, this complete Brahmanda is manifested. But originally, you are one, is single, without second. That's very important to understand. The Lord is one without second. Asamurdva. So, Asamurdva means nobody is equal or greater to him. Therefore, there is nothing beyond you. Matta Parataram Nanit Kinchidasti Dhananjaya. There is no truth higher to me. This entire cosmic manifestation is therefore not false, but is simply a temporary manifestation of an inconceivable energy. Because this word where Prabhupada writes in the beginning itself, when we read any Mayavadi philosophy, they will always say this Jagat is Mithya. Mithya means false. So even when first time I am reading before coming to Krishna consciousness, I read the same verse, Brahmam Satyam Jagat Mithya. Even in Bhagavad Gita, you read their commentary, they will write same, that this is Jagat Mithya. But we are seeing everybody is perplexed. We are seeing the world, people, relationship, how they are saying it is false. They are saying only Brahman is Satyam, but everything else is false. But we are seeing in front of our eyes. We are suffering pains and pleasure. We are experiencing various things. How we can say false? That's why Prabhupada is giving this purport very nicely, which states that the spirit is real, whereas manifested world is great variety of thing is false. So this is actually said by Adi Shankaracharya, who is an incarnation of Lord Shiva, to propagate this Mayavadi philosophy. He said this, Brahmam Satyam Jagat Mityam. So Prabhupada is writing here, he said for a certain thing, because he was supposed to preach Mayavadi philosophy, he said this. So Prabhupada is clarifying that nothing is false. One thing may be permanent and another is temporary. So what is actually false means, when some things are temporarily manifested, that is actually taken as false. And Prabhupada gives an example, if somebody is angry, it is not false, because of that anger, so many repercussions are happening. But it is temporary because that person who is angry after 1 hour, 2 hour, or 1 day, 2 days is coming to normal mood. So we cannot say his anger is false. It is simply temporary. So everything we experience in our daily lives is of the same character. It is temporary, but it is actually real. So this is the actual philosophy. We cannot say that Jagat is Mithya, but it is temporary. That is the main point here. And again, Prabhupada goes in the second paragraph about all these living entities, how they are taking birth in this world, and some from womb, and some from perspiration, from eggs, and from earth. This is from the seed form. So how does this living entity take birth? Based on the karma. According to the karma, they take a certain kind of body. About 8,400,000 species of life. Karmana deva nitrena. According to our karma, and deva means according to the higher powers, we get a certain body to enjoy or suffer in this world based on our karmic reactions. So nobody will accept that person's material body is false. And when we say If you say body is false, then people can murder the body also and say there is no recur. So that will actually be it will be a big problem if you say that everything is false. So when you say somebody thinks this philosophy, everything is false, and if you do a murder, we will be actually put into this one. So proper rights, murder has no, since a person's material body is false, murder has no repercussions. Like that, nobody will accept this philosophy. Our temporary bodies are given to us according to our karma, and we must remain in our bodies to enjoy the pain and pleasures of life. See, every living entity we are seeing, somebody is enjoying so much pleasure, somebody is suffering so much pain. We are seeing in front of our eyes. People born in certain countries, they are suffering by so much pain. Certain countries, when they are taking birth, they are enjoying luxurious life. Why these things are happening? Because of our past karma. Our bodies cannot be called false but they are only called temporary. In other words, the energy of the Supreme Lord is actually permanent as Lord himself. So the energy is permanent, but it is manifested sometime and sometime not manifested. Like after the Pralaya, this whole Brahmanda is taken back. So it is not manifested. Again, during Mahavishnu will exhale, breathing, again this all will be manifested. So the energy is permanent, but it is manifested temporarily. As summarized in the Vedas, Sarvam Kalam Idam Brahma. Everything is Brahman. So this is what we understand from this prayer. And there is one more verse. If you have time, we can see today or tomorrow also we can see. No problem. Hare Krishna. So I think we can start tomorrow also. So it is okay. It's little big only.
Little big.
Yeah.
This
We
15
can see
minutes.
tomorrow, Prabhu, no problem. We can see tomorrow along with the other prayers to Lord.
Okay. Okay, Prabhuji.
Because too much of philosophy and we will be able to digest the same time.
Okay. So 33 we'll read it. From 33 we'll read tomorrow. Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Asimana Krishna, Prabhu, you want to say something, Prabhu? I didn't, between your net got disconnected. You are not
Hare
able to
Krishna,
ask.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Danda Pranam, Prabhuji.
Danda Pranam, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji. It is all these prayers are actually explaining us greatness of the Lord. But once we are understanding greatness of the Lord, that's what I think we are reading. You also in explaining, Prabhuji, that sloka, first sloka where today reading, Prabhupada writing last, it is greatness of the Lord. All we are understanding here.
Beautiful
Yes.
ways.
Yes.
Yeah. Once we
Prayer.
are understand this greatness of the Lord, we can surrender. We can serve Him nicely. This was helping us. This reading Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita, and
Very-
association with the devotees. Thank you for our Sri Kumar Prabhuji daily
Yes,
enlightening all the devotees. We all are unable to attend, but he is every day from India. He is making all the devotees to attend. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you. So as Prabhuji said, it is very true that we cannot estimate the greatness of the Lord, but through Srimad Bhagavatam, we can little bit understand, try to appreciate the greatness as well as our insignificant position also. Both we
Yes.
can understand from
Yes.
this Bhagavatam. And that should give us an inspiration to serve the Lord in a more sincere way.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, bro. Thank
Very
you.
correct. Sarvada Mataji, anything you want to add? Mataji?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Nothing, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Yesterday, actually,
Thank you.
Shivana Prabhuji was taking a wonderful class, but unfortunately I couldn't attend. I had to hear. He sent it in the group. I request everyone, please, Srikumar Prabhuji also, please listen to his yesterday's Friday class.
Record. I see. Okay. Bhagavatam
Yeah.
class. I mean,
Bhagavad Gita.
class.
Yes, Prabhuji, please.
It's recorded, no, Guruji?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it should be
shared.
set already in the group. He sent yesterday itself.
I didn't notice because
I didn't get time. I will say, I will hear today.
I see. Okay, thank you for wonderful.
Prabhuji, everybody was actually glorifying about your class. My Prabhuji, my daughter, Hima Madaji. I asked about yesterday's class, and they were telling, even without asking, they started telling that is super. Even children, Krishna group children also enjoyed the class. Even yesterday, she also was actually comparing, when she was yesterday, she told her, please make tomorrow paneer. Then she herself was telling that it is a kind of lust. No, I don't want. Whatever you make, I will eat. That means everybody relating with your class.
Guru Maharaj,
Yeah,
you don't have
thank
any.
you. We are so grateful, Prabhuji, to you. At least once in a week, we are lucky to get you.
Yeah, really. Waiting actually, if we are not there means we are actually heartbroken. Like if we are sometimes engaged with some other
that
one,
I may be following whatever I speak. That's all. I am not qualified
Yeah,
for
thank you. So
great
it's
things we
a
are discussing. But
wonderful thing that Prabhuji, you're recording also, and we are able
all
to.
devotees, we need Prabhu to follow that.
Yes,
Thank
thank
you
you so much for everything, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Thank
So,
you.
thank you all devotees for joining once again our Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Please do join tomorrow also, those who can avail, those who are available. So, we'll chant 3 times Hare Krishna Mahamantra for Shuguna Prabhuji as well as all the devotees who are present today.
Hare Krishna.
So, everybody is spiritual progress.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.